What's up, beautiful coach? Joel here, and today I want to talk about 3 words that genuinely unlocked 20k months, 30k months, even a 50k month. There's no hyperbole, if that's how you say it here. This is just truth. And I, like many other coaches and humans, for most of my life have been seeking the magic bullet, the secret sauce. And occasionally I still do, I still forget, I still get lost. But these 3 words changed that. Now, I remember exactly where I was when I heard these 3 words. I was walking in Madeira, just feeling really frustrated in my business. Like it was doing well, it was doing okay, but I was just feeling unbelievably overwhelmed. I was jumping from strategy to strategy, and I was teaching people how to grow their business whilst deep down I kind of questioned what I was doing. Was always thinking, am I good enough? Is this right? It worked for me, but like what's next? And I remember the moment when I signed up to a previous mentor, a guy called Dan Bolton's program. And I started consuming his content, ready to receive the secret sauce, the magic moment. And the more I consumed it, I was like, this is exactly what I teach. Now, of course, he has his own style and he's amazing at what he does. But in essence, the core principles were exactly what I was teaching. And that's when it landed for me. It all works. Those are the 3 words. It all works. Now, hearing that can be incredibly challenging and annoying. And I remember hearing it prior to that insight, prior to it landing in my body. I remember hearing it like, it all works, just pick something. But I was just like, yeah, but I know there's a secret sauce. Like, give me the secret sauce. But when it landed in my body, for me, it was like the most freeing insight. Because what I realized in that moment is that what's more important than the action is the energy that's fueling the action. It's alignment. Truly, alignment is the most important strategy. And I have received a ton, when I say a ton, a handful, let's not exaggerate too much, a handful of these messages, literally in the last few weeks, where people have reached out and say, Joel, I wish I saw this 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, because I signed up to this program, invested 6K, which by the way is more than what I charge. Side note. I signed up to this program, they had me just hustle and push, and I'm taking calls all the time, I'm living in my DMs, and it's not for me. I wish I saw what you offer before then. Because as I say, it all works. Cold outreach, sending 1,000 DMs, engaging on LinkedIn for hours, it all works. But only if you're aligned with it. Because the most profitable strategy in business is staying in the game. It's not sexy, that doesn't sell, but it's the truth. And it's my guiding principle, my marketing and sales. It's just to tell the truth. Even if that means making less sales and not manipulating into signing up with me. But the most profitable thing you can do in your business is stay in the game, be sustainable. And the way to be sustainable in business is to have fun. Like it really is that simple. Think of the habits that you are most consistent with. Most likely they're the things that you actually enjoy. So if you don't enjoy cold outreach, if you don't enjoy engaging on LinkedIn for hours on end, there are other ways. Everything works. Everything works. Now, of course, there's payoffs. The payoff of not sending 1,000 cold DMs is that sometimes it's slower in the start, and it requires you to be better with your content and your messaging. But for me, I've just made the decision to not let stress into my life, because my number one principle in business is life comes first, business comes second. So if you are a coach that is looking to make money at all costs, at any cost, will stop at nothing, is okay sending thousands of DMs a day, and maybe you're just in that phase of life, maybe you're an 18 or 20-year-old who's just willing to hustle your face off. But if if you've got a family like me and you like time in nature and you prefer living, and actually life is more important than scaling at all costs, then I want to introduce a new way of growing your business. Because as I say, it all works. My way, it works. It's not the only way. I'll never say it's the only way, but it works. And it works for me because it is aligned with who I am. It's aligned with how I want to live. So let me just give you a walkthrough of kind of this old way, my way. Where is it? Come on, there it is. My way of growing a business versus the other way. I like to think of it a bro coach versus a heart-led coach. A bro coach is about business comes first, life second. For me, I'm heart-led, life first, always. A bro coach has a sales-driven business where, if I just draw this for a moment, if we think of the journey of a client from cold to warm to hot. A sales-driven business, sales will start here. And marketing ends here. So it's about volume. It's about how quickly can I get someone from cold to hot. A marketing-driven business, which is how I like to grow, marketing starts here and sales starts here. I don't massively like sales. I like coaching, I like speaking to people and connecting, but I don't like hardcore sales. That's not for me. If that's for you, cool. This way isn't aligned with who you are. But if you don't massively like sales and that high pressured environment and creating that using those manipulative strategies, then I encourage you to really start investing more into your marketing and your content. That's certainly how I'm living. Bro coach is about high pressure. Heart-led coach is about zero pressure, casual invites. Yes, there is a certain level of conviction, but there's no coercion or manipulation. Instead, we empower our clients. That is how I think about marketing and sales, is I trust my audience to make the best decision for them. And I simply empower them with making that decision. I do that by creating awareness and sharing invites and making invites. It really isn't that complicated. Of course, there are systems that make that possible, but for me, I'm always about zero pressure, having conviction in my offer, but never forcing it down people's throats. The heart-led coach, the way of the heart-led coach is about building recurring revenue versus that feast-to-famine cycle where we're chasing and chasing and chasing. Instead, I like to build recurring revenue where I know with quite a lot of predictability how much money I'm going to make each month. Even if that's like $2,000 a month. When I first started creating that recurring revenue, when I first was a men's coach, I was making like 2-3K a month in recurring revenue. That just really allowed me to relax because my bills were covered, my rent was covered, and just the essential needs were covered. And it really relaxed my nervous system. And as I say a lot in my content, a relaxed coach is a magnetic coach. The way of the heart-led coach also flips from being acquisition obsessed to retention obsessed, where we think about our clients first, not our audience. We're not spending hours a day thinking, how do I go viral? Instead, we're thinking, how do I serve my clients? How do I create workshops or masterclasses or deep dives that take my clients or get quicker results for my clients? And then how do we leverage that content to attract more of those people? This way, you're actually creating things just once and using them multiple times. So again, this frees up so much time in your calendar. A bro coach is always open, always creating clients non-stop, 12 months a year. The way of the heart-led coach is about being mostly closed, building up a wait list, and then strategically open doors using ethical scarcity and supply-demand tension. Again, this is a totally new way of thinking about business, and it will require some discipline and some standards. You will have people reaching out to you saying, hey, what does it look like to work with you? And it takes discipline and standards to say, actually, doors are closed right now. would you want to be added to the wait list? Now the beauty of this is it takes far less what's the word I'm looking for? They need to be about 10% sure to be added to the waitlist versus to make a sale, they need to be, or to sign up with you, they need to be 90% sure. So you can really build your waitlist fast, and then when your doors are open and you run a client campaign, you have a list of people on your waitlist and you can go to them, hey, I've got 3 spaces, I'm speaking to 12 people currently. There's no manipulation or coercion there, it's just sharing the facts. But it does leverage one of the key drivers of influence, supply, demand, tension. Bro coaches are about cold outreach. We're about having warm, heart-led conversations where, yes, there's intentionality there. We're leading people to an end goal, but we're about empowering them with their decision. Bro coaches are about lead volume. This is the way of the funnel. How many leads can I pump through the funnel? How quickly can I extract money from my audience? Whereas the way of the heart-led coach is about lead efficiency, which I'll talk about more in a bit. Bro coach is about how full can my calendar be. Heart-led coach is how spacious can my calendar be. Personally, I like space. I like to move slow. Yes, when I take action, it's focused, there's intentionality there, but I like to breathe slowly. I like to have slow coffees in the morning, spend time with my wife at lunchtime, go for long walks with my buddy Samuel here in Ericeira. That's how I like to live. So preferably, I like an empty calendar. And the way of the heart-led coach isn't about working with anyone, but working with dream clients. As I said before, I've made a decision. I don't let stress into my life. So that means saying no to money and realizing not all money is meant for me. When you only say yes to dream clients, your coaching will get better, your energy will get cleaner, and you'll just start to have way more fun, which will lead to more sustainability, better service, and turning up with more energy, more vibrancy, more charisma. And then finally, a bro coach is about manipulation. Heart-led coach is about magnetizing. It's about becoming someone others want to follow. Now, at the heart of this way is what I call an authority flywheel. So let me walk you through this. Now, the difference between a flywheel and a funnel. A flywheel is about lead efficiency, as I said. A funnel is about lead volume. How many people can I pump through this funnel? It's a real buy or die environment, i.e. if someone buys your course, great, but if they don't, they're off and we just lose them into the ether, never to be speaking to again. And it's about high pressure. How quickly can I convert? Every stage is designed to manipulate or just extract as much money as possible. Whereas the way of the authority flywheel is about lead efficiency. It's about compounding trust and building what I call yes momentum. So every yes your prospect or your lead or your customer or your client says gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So let me share how this works. Now at the top of this authority flywheel is what I call a growth engine. This is essentially how to create followers or connections. And we do that either with automations on LinkedIn in a very heart-led way, leading with connection, leading with service, or with content and one simple ad. Again, very low pressure, more invitational, and the goal of that is to create followers. The next goal is to turn these followers into leads, and a lead is someone we can have a direct conversation with, usually via email, which is the heart of all of this. And we do that with mini magnets and DM automations. Now, a mini magnet is essentially a solution to a very small, specific problem. So I'll give you an example. Last week, I created about 50 leads from one ChatGPT prompt. That is a perfect mini magnet. It's literally probably 50 words or 100 words that it solved a really specific problem for my audience. And with DM automations built in the background, that created 50 leads for me. Now, we don't just want leads, we want to turn leads into customers. Because research shows us a customer is twice as likely to convert than a lead is, and they will spend 50% more than a lead. So we really want to optimize getting customers, not just leads. And the way we do that is with either a low ticket offer or a conversion event. Now, a conversion event for me is often a workshop that I'm already running for my community, because I'm thinking community, clients first, audience second. And the benefit of this is that I create things once and I use multiple times, but it turns leads into customers. Our goal then is to turn customers into clients. Now, the difference is a client is someone who is recurring, is continuing to stay in your world, is perhaps on a subscription or signed up to 3, 6 months, a year with you. That is a client, versus a customer is someone who buys a one-off product. And the way we turn a customer into a client is by running client campaigns. Now, I'll talk about that in a bit and how those work, but this isn't about always being open, always trying to create clients. This is about running strategic client campaigns, leveraging supply-demand tension that honor your body, honor your energy, and allow you to be to really balance that sort of push-pull, yin-yang energy, which I'll talk about in a bit. But the ultimate goal is to turn these clients into raving fans. As I shared before, the way of the heart-led coach is about retention obsessed versus acquisition obsessed. And the way we do that, aside from being amazing at what you do and getting your clients results, is by building a sacred tribe where your clients feel a sense of belonging. Yes, they're getting results, but they feel a sense of belonging, which I think in today's world where we are so isolated with the rise of AI, people want a sense of belonging. And if you create that, you create those connections that will last for a lifetime, people will want to stay in that space. So that sacred tribe is how we turn clients into raving fans. Now, finally, we want to turn the raving fans, or use the raving fans to attract more people like them, more leads, more followers. And the way we do that is with case studies. There's a great book called Building a Story Brand, which in essence says you're not the hero of the story, your audience is, your customers are. And by sharing case studies, your audience, your followers, will start to put themselves in their shoes versus you telling your story. So it's a far more powerful way to market. And now at the heart of this is your content. Why is my pencil being weird? Your content and email ecosystem. Your email is essentially the wheelhouse that drives all of this forward. Now, that is what it looks like underneath the bonnet. And it may sound like a lot, but actually it is insanely simple. You have some key assets to build: the mini magnet, conversion event, really the sacred tribe, the growth engine, case studies, and running client campaigns, which I can share more in a bit, but we can help you build and co-create each of those. But what this looks like once it's built is essentially running strategic campaigns where each week you point to one of those assets. So week 1 and 2, and it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, just putting that for simplicity. But weeks 1 and 2, you could promote 1 mini magnet or 2 mini magnets, where we point all of our content to that mini magnet and use DM automations to capture emails. No complex funnels here, just really simple, low touch, low complexity systems that collect emails. And we promote these mini magnets from 4 different angles: pain, promise, path, and proof. Really simple way of, for a week, being focused on one asset, one solution to your client's problems. Once they download or swap their email for the content, they get pushed through a Yes Momentum email sequence where it's strategically designed to build yeses, like to build momentum with yeses. So they're saying yes to you, yes to your mechanism, and ultimately yes to themselves. and it's designed in a very strategic way. And some of these bits of content point to a story sales letter, which again sells people on you, your values, your story, your deeply held convictions, and your mechanism, your way, your big ideas. And if they are bought into that, they'll start saying yes, And if we're in this 3 weeks before the client campaign, we just add them to the wait list. So prior to the client campaign, we're building up that demand so that when we run a client campaign, there's pent up demand ready to say yes. Week 3, we do the same, but with a conversion event. And at the end of that conversion event, we make a very casual offer to our core offer using either a sales doc or a call. And they either say yes or they don't. And then in week 4, we go into a client campaign where, again, we're approaching our core offer from 4 different angles: pain, promise, path, and proof. And we're promoting our core offer. And we either do that for a period of time or a set number of places. What that does, it creates that supply-demand tension where you are open for a limited amount of time or you have a limited number of spots. And we're leveraging ethical scarcity, which is one of the biggest drivers of human influence. So this is what it looks like on the front end. You just create content pointing to one asset per week, and usually that asset's taken from our community, it's taken from our sacred tribes, something we've already created. So we're just leveraging something that's already created, and we're pointing our content to it 1 week and the next. Then we're running a conversion event, which again, we're already running for our community. And then we casually go into a client campaign where we're inviting people to go deeper with us and say yes to our core offer. Now, once you have this system, every time you run a client campaign, you can have more and more people who have gone deep into your world, that have bought into who you are, your mechanism, your way, and are therefore more likely to say yes. Now, this is how I run my life and my business. This is what's allowed me to live in this beautiful house which overlooks the ocean, spend time with my daughter, make on average like between 20 and 30k months, working on average around 4 days a week, and really just enjoying life. Now, is this the only way? No. But as I said before, if you're more aligned with a more spacious way of operating, more heart-led way of growing a business, then this absolutely will work, and it's something that is sustainable over the long haul. So if you would like more information of how this will work, message me the word build on Instagram, and we'll see if it's aligned with who you are, where you're at in your business, and if it feels right, we can either jump on a call or I can send you details. But as I said, there's never any pressure from me. There's never any coercion or manipulation. It either feels right or it doesn't. I really want to work with people that are self-empowered, self-led, and that I enjoy, that I like. And if that's you, I'd love to speak. If not, that's also cool. I've got a ton of resources around my page. And if this has been helpful, go ahead and hit subscribe. I'd love to, I'd just be really grateful. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm off for a walk, and speak to you very soon. Lots of love.